Hello, lovely people. I hope you're all well. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me for another live session. I hope that you're well. I hope that you've had a good weekend so far. Lovely to see you too. Thank you. Really missed you all. And I hope that you're all well. You're all okay. Lovely. Very good. Very good. Okay. I'm actually going to start the lesson by talking a little bit about the weather. We've had really unsettling weather, haven't we, recently? The weather's been very unsettled this week, especially, and hopefully it'll pick up. Hopefully the weather will pick up very soon. That's what we hope. Lovely. So thank you. Yes, I haven't seen you in a whole week. Last Sunday, I think, I didn't see you. Are you Irani? My father is Persian. Glad to see you. Glad to see you as well. Lovely. So nice to have you all. So nice to have you. I also wanted to thank you, everybody, for supporting me, for trusting me, for following me on Instagram. And I can see that I've grown in followers. I've grown in the number of people who have trusted me over the years. So thank you for your trust. I really hope that I can pay you back with lessons or something that will hopefully be useful to you. Okay. Have you ever been in Iran? Yes, I have. Yes, I have, when I was a child, and also about 15 or so years ago. So I'm absolutely dying to go back. You're really respected and admired. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Lovely comments from all of you there. Thank you so much. So I hope you're all well. Very good. Let's see. The stories that I've put up recently, I am trying to give you the opportunity to review the posts that I'm putting up. I'm going to try and do that a little bit better in the future. It's good to have a review. So once we've had a lesson, to have a review is really good, and then to get the correct answer as well is really good. So I'm going to try and do that a little bit more. And also, once again, thank you for your fantastic questions that you've been sending me. You've been texting me your really good questions. If it's a question that, sometimes some people send me a question, I want to find a girlfriend, I want to find a boyfriend, what can I say? I'm sorry, that's not me. Please go and get help from somebody else. But some of you are asking really good questions that I know will hopefully benefit other people as well. And that's why I share people's questions. Lovely. Okay. Lovely. Right. So in tonight's session, I said that I was going to go through some simple passive with you. Now, I know a lot of you have learnt that passive has got a formula. A lot of you have learnt that passive, for example, present simple passive, you might have learnt present simple passive is am, is, are plus the past participle. For example, I am taught English. Yeah, you've learnt that, or you've learnt through the formula, you've learnt that's how you make passive voice. And that's absolutely fine. But there are other ways of making passive as well that you might not have heard of or you might not be aware of. And these are very simple ways of making passive. I know a lot of you want to do the IELTS exam. So you might be able to use this in your IELTS, but I've also made them so that you can use them in everyday English as well. So hopefully you'll find it useful that way. Okay. The formula we're going to use, there is a set formula that we're going to use tonight, and that is being, B-I-N-G, being, and then the past participle, the third part of the verb. That's it. That's the only formula I'm going to use tonight. Being, and the past participle of the verb, the third part of the verb. That's the only formula I'm going to use tonight, and hopefully you will find, yes, I'm going to close the comments, thank you for that, and hopefully you will find it beneficial, you'll find it useful. So this is recorded, obviously I'm going to record this lesson like I usually do. It's being recorded right now. It's going to it's going to live on YouTube, and that's where you'll be able to find it. Okay, so you might be at work, you might be in a situation where somebody is bossing you around. Somebody is bossing you around, telling you what to do and that kind of thing. In that kind of situation, we don't usually tell somebody, stop bossing me around, don't tell me what to do, because that's really rude. That's not part of the British culture. What we usually do a lot of the time is we use the passive. So this is what you could say. I don't like, I don't like, I don't like. And now I'm going to use my formula. I don't like being told. I don't like being told what to do. That's it. I don't like being told. Being told is my passive. I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being told what to do. This is very respectful. It's a very polite, very respectful way for you to talk to somebody. At the same time, it's strong enough. It's quite forceful for you to be able to use this. And this way you are telling that person, don't boss me around. Don't tell me what to do. I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being told what to do. If you're in a working environment, this happens to everybody, doesn't it? It's different in different environments, of course, but there are some personalities who are a little bit more dominating, shall we say, and they like to boss people around. They're not your boss, they're not your supervisor, but they are people in your team, and they like to just boss people around. And it's very upsetting, it's annoying when people do that. So this is a very respectful way for you to tell your colleague or anybody else, I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being told what to do. And it's your body language, it's the tone of voice that you use, your body language, that can make it very nice and polite and calm, or you can take it to the next level. I don't like being told what to do. So you can make it a little bit more fierce if you like to, but that's the sentence that we're going to use. I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being told what to do. Okay. Another example that I have, for example, let's say somebody is upset. She is upset and she's sitting over there, and other people are saying, oh my God, what's wrong? Why is Layla so upset? Why is Layla upset? This is the sentence we can say. She is upset about being left out. She's upset about, and then again, I'm going to use my passive here. I'm going to use my formula, being left out. So being is B-E-I-N-G, being, and then my verb is past participle of leave out. That means not being included. Okay, so she is upset about being left out. She's upset about being left out. That's why she doesn't want to come and talk to us. She's upset about being left out. So we didn't include her in our meeting, in decisions, in anything like that. And that's why she's upset. Okay, so the formula we're using tonight, the only formula we're using tonight is being, B-E-I-N-G, and the third part of the verb, okay, which is the past participle. So the first one was, I don't like being told what to do. 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 The next one, she was upset about being left out. She was upset about being left out. She was upset about being left out. Okay. The let's see. Let's say, for example, you're in a supermarket or you're in a bank. Usually doesn't happen in a bank. You're in a supermarket, you're outside on the street, at the bus station maybe, or on the train or anything like that. And you get into a bit of a tiff. I'm going to write this down. That means a bit of an argument, bit of a tiff. You get into a bit of a tiff with somebody, a bit of an argument with somebody, and that person starts shouting at you. That person that is having a bit of an argument with you is starting to shout at you. And you want to say, whoa, what are you shouting? Why are you shouting? Don't shout at me. But again, we want to use a more respectful tone. We want to say it a little bit more respectfully. This, again, is the grammar that we're going to use. Being shouted at. Being shouted at. Okay, so my full sentence is this. I can say I don't like, but I'm going to change it because we had I don't like before, didn't we, a few minutes ago. So this time I'm going to use I don't appreciate. I don't appreciate. Appreciate here, it means I don't like. I don't appreciate being shouted at. I don't appreciate being shouted at. I don't appreciate being shouted at. So this is usually when you're outside and somebody is shouting at you, maybe raising their voice at you for whatever reason, and you want to say, what are you shouting at? Why are you shouting? Lower your voice. You say, I don't appreciate being shouted at. I don't appreciate being shouted at. Okay. You might ask yourself, oh my goodness, why is Layla teaching us these things tonight? What's going on? The reason why I've chosen these things is because I've had lots of messages from a lot of the students who've been saying, for example, they've been verbally abused at work, or unfortunately they haven't been treated very well, they've been disrespected. A lot of people are saying we need some kind of language, Layla, where we can defend ourselves. Just teaching us about very, very simple English that we can use in a restaurant, or simple English about good times and that kind of thing isn't enough. Sometimes we need English to be able to defend ourselves and be able to stand up for ourselves. So that's basically what I'm trying to do tonight. Okay, right. Let's have a different situation, for example. And let's say that a group of people want to plan a birthday party. A group of people want to plan, for example, a meeting. A group of people want to plan an outing, some kind of a holiday, anything. A group of people want to plan something, okay? And they come to you and they say, would you like to take part? Would you like to be part of the group? Would you like to be included? Yes. And if you would like to be included, then this is where, again, we're going to use this grammar. I love being included in decisions, or in decision making. Sorry. I love being included in decision making. I love being included in decision making. That means, yes, please, I'd love to join your group. I'd love to be included to help you make decisions. Yes, yes. I love being included in decision making. Okay, so that's quite an advanced level sentence, isn't it? It is passive form, and also you've got decision making, which is a gerund right at the end of your sentence. So this is a lovely, lovely advanced level of sentence that you can use. I love being included in decision making. Decision making. I'm just going to change my own sentence there. In decision making. Okay, because sometimes I think of things on the spur of the moment. Spur of the moment, that's another one. Spur of the moment. Sometimes I think of something on the spur of the moment. Sometimes I think of something on the spur of the moment, on the spur of the moment. Sometimes I think of something on the spur of the moment and it just comes to me, and so I quickly write it down so I can include it in the caption as well. It comes to me on the spur of the moment. That means it's not something that I planned before. It just comes to me. So I need to write it down before I forget. Okay. Let's see. Let's have another example here. Another example. I want to start the sentence with I'm worried about being, and then I need a third part verb. I'm worried about being taken for granted. I'm worried about being, I don't know, forgotten. I'm worried about being replaced. I'm worried about being replaced. I'm worried about being replaced. It means I'm worried that they're going to take me from my job and they're going to replace me with someone else. So I'm going to lose my job. These are all different examples that we can use with the same grammar again. Okay, so that was my lesson. It was around about a 15-minute lesson that we just had. So the main lesson is being, B-I-N-G, being, plus the third part of the verb, being plus the past participle. That is the only formula we used today. So I'm going to turn my comments back on. Hello again. You have a voice again. You always have a voice. Of course, I'm joking. So that was the lesson that I had for tonight. Being, and then the past participle. Thank you. I want to see if you can make any sentences as well. I love being, and then the third part of the verb. I'm worried about being, third part of the verb. I don't appreciate being, third part of the verb. So let's see if you can come up with sentences as well. Yeah, just type your sentences for me and then we'll go through your sentences together. How's that? Okay. So I'm just going to wait to see if you have any examples. Thank you for your patience. Thank you. So I'm worried about, or I love, I would love being, third part of the verb. I'm worried about being, third part of the verb. Anything. Thank you. Okay, so I've got one sentence here. Lovely. Azar, I don't like being judged with other people. Thank you, Azar. I don't like being judged by other people. Lovely. I don't like being judged by other people. You're absolutely right. It's terrible, isn't it, when other people judge us? It's really bad. Okay. I'm worried about being misunderstood. Fantastic. I don't love being loved. Okay. Hi, Atafer. I'm worried about being delayed. Lovely. So I'm worried about being delayed. It doesn't mean I'm going to be delayed. It means I'm worried that my flight is going to have a delay. That means I'm going to arrive at my destination late. Lovely. I'm worried about being delayed. Thank you. I'm worried about being ignored in this subject for Razia, please. I'm worried about being ignored for this subject. I'm worried about being bitten by a bee. Lovely. We are stung by a bee. S-T-U-N-G, stung. I'm worried about being stung by a bee. Mad MG, you're absolutely right. And I don't know where you live, Mad MG, but I know that in Manchester, anyway, I don't know if Atafe agrees with me, in Manchester for sure, I've seen a huge increase in bees. It's It's just like the number has exploded. So I don't know if it's the same where you live, but we've got so many bees around, lots and lots of bees. Of course, the weather is cooling down, so we are still going to have bees in the winter. There are specific bees for winter as well, but I think that the type of bee we're going to see is going to be a bit different. I'm worried about being insulted in front of others. Lovely, lovely. Worried about being insulted. Fantastic. These are all passive sentences. So when you say, I don't know how to make the passive sentence, no, you do. Well done. Please write it down, your examples in YouTube. Yes, definitely, definitely. On the spur of the moment, sun, red rose. Right, on the spur. Spur is S-P-U-R, S-P-U-R. I'm going to write it in the caption in YouTube. On the spur of the moment, it means right at that moment. It means I haven't thought about it before. I haven't planned it before. It just came to me right now. On the spur of the moment. On the spur of the moment. Okay. What about negative sentences? We can use it for negatives as well. Yeah. I'm worried about being misjudged by the group. Fantastic, Marjan. Well done. I'm worried about being judged by you. Okay. I would, if you're talking about me, I would never, ever, 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 ever judge anybody. I absolutely hate judging people. But if it's just your sentence, then that's fine. I don't like being waited at the queue. I don't like being waited. Okay. So I don't like waiting. I don't like waiting. دوست ندارم که منتظر بمونم. Yeah. I don't like waiting. That's fine. But here, being waited, the meaning is going to change, right? I don't like being waited on. I don't like being waited on. That means you've got the verb wait, which has a different meaning. Wait, like as in waiter at a restaurant. So I don't like being waited on. That means I don't like other people to get my food when I'm at home or when I'm at work. I don't like other people to get my food for me. I like to do it myself. I don't like being waited on. I don't like being waited on. So the same word wait, wait, W-A-I-T, wait. I don't like being waited on. I'm going to write this down. That's a good sentence. I don't like being waited on. I don't like being waited on. Waited on. This is actually, it's very interesting that you say that, because whenever I go to somebody's house, if I go to somebody who is from Iran, and lovely, lovely hosts, of course, Iranian people, their house smells nice and their house looks lovely and their cooking is amazing and all the other things, the decor and everything is lovely. I really, really don't like it if somebody has to get up and get some tea and come and offer it in front of me. It makes me very uncomfortable. I like to get up and get my own tea. I like to get up and get my own food. But I do understand that culturally, in the Iranian culture, it's very rude if the guest gets their own cup of tea, if the guest goes in the kitchen and gets their own food. So there is this difference in culture. Yeah. Lovely. I'm worried about being ignored. I'm worried about being in the dark. I'm worried about being left in the dark. Yes, I'm worried about being left in the dark. Yes. I'm happy about being seen. I'm happy about being seen by old friends. That's fine. Yeah. I don't appreciate being on the cold shoulder. So Rose 5/5/2019. I don't appreciate being given the cold shoulder. That's a good idiom. I don't appreciate, I'm going to write this down. I don't appreciate being given the cold shoulder. Very good. That's a very good example of grammar and idiom together. What does that mean, being given the cold shoulder? If I give you the cold shoulder, if I give you the cold shoulder, if I give you the cold shoulder, it's an idiom. It means I ignore you. I ignore you. So if I see you outside on the street, I ignore you. I don't come over to say hi. I don't wave, I don't smile, I don't look at you, I ignore you. That's called give somebody the cold shoulder. It's not a cold shoulder, it's the cold shoulder. Give somebody the cold shoulder. So here I've got, who was it? Here we go, Rose 5/5/2019. Well done, Rose. You want to use this idiom. I don't like being given, which is the grammar. I don't like being given the cold shoulder. That means I don't like it when other people ignore me. Very good sentence. I don't like being controlled. Lovely, lovely. Yes, being, Samone, being, budan, B-E-I-N-G, being, budan, yeah? The ing of be. I'm worried about being hungry. I'm worried about being hungry, Neda. I love your sentence. I'm worried about being hungry. So hungry is an adjective. Okay, we can't have being and then being again. We can't have both forms of the be sentence. So I'm worried about being left hungry. That's fine. I'm worried about being left hungry. I don't appreciate being seen as an immigrant. Oh my goodness, Naima, that is such a good sentence. I don't appreciate being seen as an immigrant. That is a big sentence, and you're absolutely right. I don't love being ignored. Very good. Oops, I'm typing stuff which I shouldn't be typing. I'm worried about being ignored in class, I think you're saying, Russia. Very good. I'm worried about being stared at. Very good. I'm worried about being stared at. Yeah, when somebody just looks at me. Yeah. I don't like being surrounded by overthinking people. Okay. Overthinkers. We don't have overthinking people. Overthinkers for Azar. Thank you. I don't appreciate being convinced by fake reasons. Lovely, Ali Raza. I'm worried about being... Humayun, I don't think you finished your sentence. If you want to finish your sentence. I'm worried about being spoke English with... Okay. Right, so the whole idea of passive voice means that the person who is doing the job, the person who is doing the verb, we don't know who that is, okay? If I say I'm worried about being ignored, that means somebody else is ignoring me. Who is ignoring me? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who is ignoring me. I just don't like the action. I don't like being ignored. Sorry, that's my alarm. I don't like being ignored. That's what it means, okay? So it doesn't matter who is ignoring me. The who isn't important. It's important that I don't like the action of other people ignoring me. That's what we mean by passive. So I'm worried about, okay, I'm worried about being judged by my friends when I speak English. That would be a correct sentence. It's a correct sentence. It's a very sad situation, but it's a correct sentence grammatically. I'm worried about being judged by my friends when I speak English. Yeah, correct sentence, but very sad situation. I don't like being ignored by others. I don't like being... I don't like being labelled as late. I don't like being labelled as being late. I don't like being labelled as being late. That means I don't like people to label me. So they always think about me as somebody who's late. I don't like to be labelled, basically is what I mean. I don't appreciate being discriminated. Absolutely, Yalda. I'm worried about being judged when speaking in English, Irfan. Thank you. I'm worried about getting old. Getting old. I'm worried about getting old. Okay. So getting is not going to be accurate. It's not going to be correct in this sentence because we use the verb being, not getting. And then old is not a verb, it's an adjective. But thank you for trying. Thank you. I don't like being excluded in decision making. I'm worried about being cheated on. Cheated on. I'm worried about being cheated on. Oh my goodness. Mad Mag, you say you live in London. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So many examples. Let me just see. Lovely. Thank you very much for all your examples, because I'm aware of the time as well. I'm worried about being failed. I'm worried about being failed. I'm worried about failing. We don't say I'm worried about being failed. I'm worried about being classed as failed. That would work. Okay, spur of the moment. Yes, the symbol of Manchester is the B. Very good, very good. I'm sorry, I'm just going to go through these sentences. Oh my goodness, so many examples. Lots and lots of examples. I'm so sorry if I'm just going through them. I want to make sure that I get towards the end. I'm worried about being alone when getting old. Okay, so Teach UK, being is correct. Alone is an adjective. Yes, alone is not going to be a verb. So I'm worried about being left alone. That would be correct. I'm worried about being shouted at. I'm worried about being exhausted by working hard. I'm worried about being fired. Very good, very good. I'm worried about being transformed. I'm worried about my life being transformed by AI. Yes, yes. I hate being paid less. I hate being paid less. That's fine. I'm worried about being left alone. Thank you. I'm worried about being altered. The whole thing in the future. I'm worried about being altered in the future. Yes. I don't like being left alone. Hala doros shod. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now people are starting to use the correct sentences. Fantastic. If I read your example, if I read your sentence, if I read your example and it's wrong, and you correct yourself and send it to me again, well done. Very well done. That's how we learn. That's exactly how we learn. Lovely. I'm worried about being loathed. So there's a D at the end, orchid, please. I'm worried about not being learned English. I'm worried about not being taught English, maybe. I'm worried about being mistaken in class, being mistaken for somebody else. Yeah. I don't like being lied to. Very good. Very good. Okay, Laura. Laura's going to be the last one I'm going to read. لیلا جون به گروه تلگرامی یه گروه تلگرامی میزنین که ماها عضو شیم برای پرسیدن سوالامون و کمک کردن به هم. Yes, that's something I was talking to some other students a few minutes ago, like maybe half an hour ago. I'm going to try to set up a Telegram channel so that, yeah, students can start talking to each other as well. I think that would be really helpful. Thank you very much. Lovely, lovely. So that is the grammar lesson for tonight. The verb is being, B-E-I-N-G, and then the past participle, which is the third form of the verb. Fantastic. I've got a few sentences. I'm going to write these in the caption. This video that I've made is going to be on YouTube. I'm going to make it all ready, and I will story the link to YouTube as well tonight. Thank you so much. I didn't read your sentences, Bita. I'm so sorry. So thank you so much for joining. There are two courses starting tomorrow. One is speaking to, which is going to start tomorrow, and one is also the culture class that is starting tomorrow. Both of these groups I'm going to email you tonight, and I'm going to give you all the information that you need. We start the course tomorrow, which means you will get your first lesson tomorrow. With the culture group, the culture and language in the UK, language and culture in the UK, it's a 5-course lesson, as you know. You're going to get your first lesson tomorrow, and I'm really, really excited about this because All the lessons are just going to be in English. There's no Farsi. And it's all about things that I'm sure you will notice, and hopefully things that you can start using straight away with the culture aspect of it. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for all your comments, and I hope to see you again next Sunday. Thank you. Take care. Good night.